everybody, welcome back. And today we are going to be talking about not giving up on your dreams. So I actually had a discussion with someone who was feeling that they're too old to get married. She felt she was told she's in her 60s and she's divorced. She was divorced at 45. You know her. Her. She was divorced at 45 and she's 60 now, and she's been actively dating, but she thinks at this point it's just that she's just too old. And I don't think you're ever too old.
No.
To do you think that you're too old to do certain things? Like, is there stuff like, I mean, like we're too late, not too old, but do you think it's just too late for some things?
My opinion on age and doing what it is you love is that, to me, if it's still in you, then you need to do it.
Like, if you still have a desire, like you're saying, if something
I think it's
embedded in your
right.
soul.
I think it's God given. I think it's universe telling you something about yourself. And also, I think if you don't do it, I think it'll be with you.
Right.
And it'll be nagging at you. So, because I always think it's the things that we don't try are the things that we regret the most.
Yeah.
It's not the money. It's not anything like that. But if you want to do something that's just to everyone else just seems silly, if it's not silly to you, you have to go and do it because you're the one who has to live in your brain.
Yeah.
You're the one who has to, I'm someone who doesn't believe that you need to do things for social standing.
Yeah.
Like, who cares what, people think anymore? And maybe it's because I've gotten older, but I definitely used to think that when I was younger. I tried to fit in. But, when you get older, you do what you have to do to be happy.
Yeah, and I also think that because, like, I've gotten older and then having to start all over again, it kind of made me feel like, I think there was a time where I felt like I was... Like, I remember having a plan about everything, right? I wanted to be married before I was 30.
Yeah.
I had a plan before of an age timeline where I wanted to be married before I was 30. I wanted to have my first child when I was 30. I, wanted to get a house around that age, somewhere in my early 30s. I just, I wanted to have, like, I've always wanted to be, like, a housewife. But if I wasn't going to be a housewife, I was going to have this career by this 32. So there was always, like, a timeline. And what happened is that it all got deferred because my life took a big shift, a huge shift. And I just kind of got rid of the idea of, I'm just too old to do this.
Right.
It's over for me. I feel like I just let that go because my whole life shifts. And just because you are getting older, you have different experiences in life that will make you, to me, I feel like it makes you... delays things, but for a good reason. Like, things are delayed for a good reason. So just because, like I was telling this lady, just because you are in your 60s now, doesn't mean that you're too old to get married and that you're too old to date. You're too old. That doesn't mean that you're not going to find somebody.
Right.
It just means that your life, your process, your journey, it took a different turn that you probably weren't expecting.
Right.
And but you still have, you're still a desired person that deserves to still have somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So don't just think because you hit a certain age or at a certain point in your life and it's just over for you. I just don't believe that. And it infuriates me, though, when I see people that just really are done, especially around the age of 40s.
Yeah.
Well, 50s, 60s, because they feel like it's really over. And I'm like, no, it's not over. It's just begun, really.
I agree with you. I think that I try to avoid words like midlife and things like that, because I think that it makes people feel something.
Yeah.
I actually, like I said, we were saying in our last video was that I'm a very affirming person. You know what I mean? So when it comes to my goals, when it comes to my dreams, when it comes to the way I look physically, I affirm myself every day.
Right.
And I don't let social standing make that choice for me. I don't let other people make that choice for me, because also people will judge you on their own feelings.
Yeah.
They're not judging you on, they're not judging you. They're judging you on what works for their life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So someone could tell you that you don't want to have a child after 40 because they had theirs when they were 20.
Right.
So suddenly they feel, great because they already had their kids and they're in the certain...
Now you're in the danger zone. Yeah.
You're in this danger... And see, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like you were saying. Like, there's just words I stay away from. Because I feel like... and I feel like there's a... Again, I feel like there is a a higher purpose for us, a
Right.
higher self.
Right.
A reason why things happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think that there are denials. I do think there are delays.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's because we have to grow up for the dream.
Right.
So it's like if you put a dream out there, it's definitely for you to do. But if you're not in the right place for it, then God has to
Yeah.
dismantle your life.
Right.
The universe will definitely do that. Dismantle your life so it will fit
Right.
the dream. Now sometimes it looks scary because it means you could be homeless. So
Yeah.
you can get it. It means that you could be 42
Right.
and not have a child yet.
Right.
It means that, it can mean a lot of things.
Right.
There are ways that the universe, I always say that we grow up daily. I also think we die daily. But I also think we're reborn daily. I mean, and I feel like there's a reason for all that. If we're not dying daily and we're not being reborn daily and we're not seeing that, then we'll never have dreams that come to pass. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
The whole point of fulfilling your missions for being here. I mean, if you feel like you're supposed to be married, then you are. Don't let your age make you think it's too late. Don't let other people tell you that it's too late. If you want to be 45 years old, getting married and wear a white dress down the aisle, you should do that.
Yeah. Don't let the opinions of others.
Right. If you have a crazy career that people would just think that you just aren't in the league for, don't listen to that.
Yeah.
Those are naysayers. Those are people who are just, and sometimes they will be well-meaning people
Yeah.
who will tell you, people who actually care about you, your family, will care about you. But even well-meaning people give you bad advice based on their own life. They're not telling it based on what's good for you. They're telling it what's good for them.
Right.
That's what happens. But like, again, I think a few videos ago we said that I don't really take the advice of people all the time that aren't going in my direction. Now, if it's a mentor, then I'm listening to that because that's where I'm going. But if it's not somebody, it's like a family member or somebody that isn't going my way, I'm not going to lean on someone's understanding that doesn't, that's not going my direction. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, cause I think it's also just the build of social media makes you feel like you're not in the right space. Like you're not in you're behind. There's always this feeling that you're behind. I think it's everything is moving so fast in the world right now. Everything is so fast.
I mean, it's already November.
Yeah. It's like everything is moving so fast, and it's like, and people are like, oh my gosh, life is just passing me by. If you don't, I feel like you can't don't think about the words that you're saying because those all, like you said, they have meaning, and you can bring that stuff to your reality. If you say, the time just going by, well then, slow it down. Slow it down, or
don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't just let time go past.
Yeah.
Like really think about what it is you want to do and then go after it. If you waste a lot of time worrying about what other people think and worrying about being too, old, then you'll lose the point.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, our dreams and goals, no matter if it's marriage, children, or career, it's not really the goal. It's what we're becoming.
Yeah.
So what you're becoming, that's why I think that a lot of times when we say we want something, our lives get broken down.
Yeah.
It's because we're becoming a whole different person to achieve the goal.
Right.
The goal will eventually come, but who we're becoming to get there is what the point really is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like. You can't really listen to what other people say. You have to listen to what's inside of you, what really turns you on.
Because this person was actually saying that she's just too old to date. And I'm like,
but that's fair.
I'm like, you're not too old to. What is going on with you that's making you feel that the simple act of dating is making you? I just think you don't feel good about yourself, and so you're kind of using that.
Right. That's
excuse.
exactly right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're not. She's probably not someone that wakes up and says, "I'm look good."
Yeah.
She's probably not someone who works out in the morning. She's probably not someone who's happy where she's going. And your life. This is why being single is important. It's because when you're single, your life you have to be living your best life when you're single. You attract who you are.
Right.
So if you aren't happy with yourself, then you're definitely going to attract that same type of person. But if you're single and you're really working on yourself and you're really doing things that really turn you on, and you're really excited and you're really tapped into yourself, then what you're going to do is attract someone else who's excited about their life.
Right.
And then you're definitely going to meet each other, and you might meet several people that are happy with their lives.
Yeah.
Because we attract who we are.
You might have a better
if you feel like
time.
you're too old, then you are. I mean, like you said before, the universe says yes. It only says yes. So if you say I'm ugly, yes, you are.
Yeah.
If you say I'm beautiful, yes, you are. If you say you're successful, yes, you are. If you say that you're not successful, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Confucius, he who says he can and he who says he can are both right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
True.
So that's how you have to look at things. And I was like that for many years.
Oh yeah,
many years trying to fit in, trying to live like other people, just to be homeless at 37.
Yeah, I was doing the most. I was doing the most because even like I knew kind of what I wanted my life to be. I wasn't even like in my 20s I knew that. But in your 20s you're growing, you're learning, you're doing things. But I don't say wasted, but I did spend a lot of time trying to achieve a goal that I really didn't want because it looked good to others. Because that goal would have looked good to others. So when I could have just been doing what I wanted to do, you know what I mean, and not waste time. And then what happened was I got older and I really looked back on my life and I thought, okay, well I still haven't gotten married. I still haven't, I didn't do all of these things. And then everything kind of got all discombobulated. But everything happens for a reason. But I don't feel like, even now, that I can't still have those things.
No.
Like, I don't, like, at age 42, I don't feel, and I get people who do say, well, it's not a whole lot of people going to want to be with somebody who's in their, 40s or, most people will say most people want to have a younger person or and I just don't believe it to be true. I think that there's somebody for everybody, and I think that when the stars align, people meet. There's somebody out there for you right now, right? But I don't think it has anything to do with your age. I just think that there's somebody out there for you, and that person will come to you. I don't care what your age is. That's just my take on it. So I never feel like it's impossible.
Right.
I just don't like the idea, which I didn't like what this lady was saying when she was saying that she felt that it was, at this point, it's impossible. And I'm like, nothing's impossible. You know what I mean? Nothing's impossible.
Yeah,
so
but it is if you believe that.
Yeah, if you believe it, I guess so.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, I always look at...
That's the energy you're giving it.
Right. I always look at it as, when you look at who you are today, because you can always compare your past is only there to show you how far you've come.
Yeah.
So when I look at myself where I was at 25, I'm glad I didn't get married.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I was a wreck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was a mess, and I was in bad relationships, and even when I was 30, not ready.
I was engaged when I was engaged when I was in my 20s, early, like 20, like 20, 21. I was engaged at that time, and it's like this part of me knew I didn't want to get married too young. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't do it because I would have been divorced. Yeah. I know I would have been divorced by this time. I mean, I'm pretty sure of it.
Not ready. But what I do know is that when I do have a child, and when I do get married, and then when I do become successful at the things I'm working towards, I'll love it just the same.
Yeah.
It won't feel like it passed me by.
Yeah.
You'll have the same happiness that you would have always had because it is a goal achieved.
Right.
And then there'll be something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because every time you succeed in a goal, another goal arises.
Yeah.
It'll start forming as you're doing it. You know what I mean? As you're already achieving that goal, another goal will already start to form. And that's just, a way of making us feel alive.
Yeah.
Living is not just breathing. It's about living your life, doing the things that scare you. I mean, I think the whole point of, living is we're all just trying to deal with fear.
Yeah.
The fear of this world that makes us feel irrelevant because we're over a certain age. You know what I mean? But if you think about it, we've always felt like that. Even when we were younger, we felt irrelevant.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you never so what that teaches you is that you never feel relevant unless you make yourself feel relevant.
The progression
you believe that you just are. You just have to think you are. And
the progression of age scares people. It scares people who are not people who are not whole and centered.
Yeah.
It scares you because you all you can do, because most people that are afraid of the things they have not achieved at the age they are now, it's mostly because you're living in fear and you're also living in the past.
Yeah.
People who are always like, oh my gosh, I'm getting too old, say that every decade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, no, the problem is that you're comparing your life now to your past, and you're hanging on to something that's not there, so you're not able to fully live your current life. Because you're hanging on. So I think that it is just like fear.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about school because I know there's people who are embarrassed they want to go back to college. Because I think there's people who want to go to college, back to school, to achieve a goal that they never did. And then do you think there's people out there who go back to college because they don't know what they want to do with their life?
I mean,
they're afraid to go out there into the world.
I mean, I always think there are people who simply never leave college.
Yeah. Do you think that's fear?
Yeah.
Do you think people who don't leave college?
I think that people who don't begin to live life, and then their life is only, unless you're going to be a professor,
Yeah.
At some point. At some point you're gonna have to do something with all those degrees.
Right.
You know what I mean? But again, I'm not the authority on what someone's
Right.
feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
people could be saying that about me, like, well, you were in New York for 10 years. How come you didn't become?
Yeah.
And that's because when I wanted to be a makeup artist, it's funny because when I was becoming, this is how I knew I didn't want to be a makeup artist. Is that I worked at Macy's in Herald Square, and on my floor, I worked on the 4th floor, and the guy from one of the judges from America's Next Top Model was there, and he was from the first season.
Oh, right.
Okay. So as he was leaving, and I was leaving for the day, he went through the employees' entrance. So it was just me and him. So I said, "Ooh, this is like." Your chance,
moment,
right?
yeah.
So I was terrified to talk to this man because he was in the field.
Yeah.
And not even really, he was in the field, but he was just a successful person. So I stopped him, thinking he's probably gonna be mean because he's in the fashion business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he wasn't. He stopped, and I talked to him for maybe 15 minutes, which is pretty long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he gave me his business phone number. And he gave me his email and then email address of some other makeup artists that are working the business. And I remember taking that and thinking, I took it. I was excited. I think I was more excited the fact that I approached someone and I faced my fear.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be a makeup artist anymore. And I realized that it wasn't a passion for me anymore. And the thing is that you can change your mind a lot, and that is okay. You know what I mean? I thought I wanted to do that, but then once I started to do it, I thought, I'm not passionate about this. I don't want to do it anymore. You know what I mean? And then it kind of upset me, not because I didn't want to do it anymore, but because I didn't know what else to do.
Well, that was the dream.
I don't want to work in retail for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? I had a dream. That was the whole reason I came to New York.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then all of a sudden, the air just went right out of that career, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. And thought, what the hell do I do now? You know what I mean? And then we start making cupcakes.
Yeah.
And then I thought. The cupcake thing went fast.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody.
That was the
cupcakes.
We did this. We were you.
Really,
it was Kara's thing. It was Kara's thing. She made these cupcakes and then she was just for fun, and then she ended up selling them. And then if any of our New Yorker friends are watching this right now, y'all know the demand for these cupcakes was ridiculous. It was crazy, right? And so Kara and I were. A lot of y'all don't even know. We were up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We also had our full-time jobs to go to, baking cupcakes and getting orders filled up. The cupcake thing happened very quickly, and the success of it was
quick and fast.
Very quick and very fast. It was a high demand for it. It was a
people to this day are still from New York are still
asking them. Yeah. Now, but somehow we just got kind of. I started helping Kara because I know she needed help. It was too many orders, and it just kind of went crazy. But the makeup dream was over, and this thing happened out of nowhere, and so now you had one dream deferred.
Then here goes another one. But what I learned from that job, what I learned from the cupcake, first of all, you speak things into existence.
Yeah.
You want something, and it will come to you if you really immediately you'll get it. But what I understood though is that when you have, because I didn't end up wanting to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what I did learn from that position, because I knew I always wanted to be a business owner.
Yeah.
I always wanted to work for myself because I've always been the kind of person who I don't do authority well. I really kind of like to be in charge. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so
wear what you want to wear, you want to do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm a really great worker. I usually have a great standing at all my jobs, but I'm more of a boss. Yeah. In my own. Right. Head. You know what I mean? But what I did learn is with that small, it went on for a while, but is to be an entrepreneur, you got to be really hard. It's really hard work. It's a lot of work. Because you got to do 2 jobs at once. The job that makes you money, and then the job that the business that you're bringing in, but also you don't get paid from that business right away. You don't make very much money, and you could go years for that. Yeah, so you have to love it. Well, I didn't love it.
Right. That's how you know.
So that's how you know that you got to love what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you will give up and give up fast. And but I did learn that from that position was that, when you figure out what it is that you love, you'll do it for free.
Yeah, it's true. That is very true.
And you'll do it really well, and you'll have a lot of ideas, and they'll just come to you, and the universe will help you with that. But you will give up because anytime you want anything, it's going to be hard to get. So there will be women who can have babies like this, and there will be women who are struggling. Why? It's because they want it so bad. Yeah, you know what I mean. And so that's the thing. Anything you want it bad, love, career. weight loss. It all takes, it all, is there to, and I actually believe God uses what it is that our passion to push us.
Yeah.
So they makes it hard so that we can become a different person.
Yeah. If you really love something that's and it's embedded in your soul to do, and you really want to do it, expect some obstacles.
Yeah.
Expect some tests. You know what I mean? Sometimes God will put some tests right in your way to see if you really want to do it. You know what I mean? And if you're lazy with that dream or whatever you're wanting to do, that means you don't really want to do it.
You don't really want it.
There's something. There's something you may want. Maybe something that comes with that, maybe notoriety, whatever it is, but it doesn't necessarily mean you want that, and so then that will be.
Which goes back to my original.
You have to kind of mourn these.
Which goes back to your original question about the girl, the woman. You know what I mean? Is that you must not really want love, because whenever you really want something, you go get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There'll be times you can never lose weight, but when you really want to lose it, you can lose it. You know what I mean? If you really want to make some money, some real money, and really put in some work, you'll do it. If you really want to fall in love and you want to put yourself out there, you'll do it. And you won't do it with a negative attitude. You'll do it with the intention of success on everything you want. And all of those things are, again, it's pushing us. I think that God finds the passion where our passions are that we want. He makes it a little difficult so he can pull forth something in you that you're trying not to use, with yourself. And so I know that with that little glimpse with our cupcake business, that showed me one. I know I'm a determined person, so I can do that, just not now.
Yeah,
this isn't the time. But I learned a lot from that, and I learned that you gotta be pretty tough.
Yeah,
and you gotta be really determined, and you gotta be really disciplined, and you gotta really want it. But most of all, you gotta really, really love it.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the same thing when it comes to love. You can't say you want love, but then all of a sudden, as soon as love comes your way, you start treating them like they're your last boyfriend.
Yeah.
Or all the men who have hurt you.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with children. If you're over a certain age and you want a baby, you can't sit there and let everybody tell you should have had them when you were 23. There are many ways to have children. There's a surrogacy, there's in vitro, there's adoption. You could definitely have a child with your own body. And so don't ever let anyone tell you to forget your dream and give you that energy, because if you do, you will feel sad that you didn't do it.
Or sometimes you give your own self that energy too, where you're like, like you're saying, I know people who can just pop out kids, and I just can't have a kid at all. But I know people who are really trying to have children, and and are a difficult time, and they're saying a lot of I think not even realizing it, negative things to themselves. I don't think this is never going to happen for me. This is never. I've been trying for 3 years, and nothing's happened. This is never going to happen for me. But keep trying. You can't try and be negative at the same time, expecting the result that you want. You really have to be positive through whatever you're doing. All right. Stop letting people tell you it's because you are, this certain age, or because you are this certain race that you can't do something, or because whatever it is. Don't let that stop you.
I mean, who's the plus size model? The really pretty one?
Ashley Graham.
Ashley Graham.
And
how many times she probably told she was too fat to do something that these real stick thin women do. And look what she's gone. She's more successful than most. Modeling is dead, really. Yeah. But this girl somehow revived modeling. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so my point in saying that, don't ever let anyone tell you that your life, that you are insignificant to whatever it is you want to do.
You have a unique path.
Right.
You have a unique path. And I had to learn that too, by the way, because I used to always think like I was saying earlier, that there was a certain age and timeline that things are supposed to happen. Right? Because I know a lot of people, from high school and all, who some of their lives have the timeline matched up. They got married when they were 25. They got the kids when they were, they got the house when they were doing this. They got the car when they were, and then mine. They
got the divorce when they were 43. Yeah. Everything happens.
So it's like everything happens. So it's like your path is unique to you. That is unique to you. So it may not look like you were, like what society says or what you've seen your friends and family do. Your path just may look a little bit, because people always think that, when they say that success does not look like a straight line. Success looks like this. It looks different. It's all over the place.
Like they say, Colonel Sanders became successful at 59.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
He was about to commit suicide.
Yeah. Yeah,
because he thought his life was over, and he over here making chicken this whole time.
Yeah,
and
that
had
was
this
his
recipe, and he's long gone now, but yet we're still frying up that chicken, and we're still doing it. So I mean, the McDonald's brothers the same way, Mary Kay. There's tons of people, Famous Amos. There are people who went way past 40. You know what I mean? And they're successful. There are women out here having children. They're like, damn, Janet Jackson she's 50.
Yeah.
Halle Berry thought she was going through menopause and she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Don't let people spoil your dreams. You know what I mean?
They
Affirm
will
yourself.
too.
They don't know what's inside of you. Don't do that to yourself.
And I'm going to guarantee you this: they will try.
And I will also say,
will try.
Do not tell everybody your dreams,
Don't,
because
oh
everybody is not
yeah.
privy to that.
Yeah.
Everybody should not be privy to to what's inside of you. People can't handle that. Some people can't handle your dreams.
Yeah.
They just can't. And so don't open up to people who aren't going, who aren't clapping for you or being there for you. You know what I mean? I say the same thing about prayers. Don't have everybody praying for you. Everybody is not praying for you. Some people are more jealous than anything. Most people who see you moving up in the world will always try to break you down. You know what I mean? People who used to hang out with, they won't want to hang out with you anymore. People, will feel jealous. People will be mad. You know what I mean? But so it's like, keep a lot of that stuff between you and God. And then when you start to see like that little that seed starts to bloom a little bit, then you can start talking about it, because now you're, but then it's more progressive because you're seeing it. Your energy's getting heavier with it, and it's becoming greater and bigger, and so then nothing can stop you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you don't have, the only way I suggest that you tell people is if you have a nothing can stop me attitude.
Right. Nothing can stop me attitude.
If you have that attitude, then I say you can tell whoever you want. But if you don't have that attitude and you're a little bit insecure, keep it to yourself, but then work really hard.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that I would rather, I work behind, I like to keep it quiet. I won't go on Facebook and tell everybody what I want. You know what I mean? Although I'm talking about it now for the purpose of this show. But I'm one person that keeps it quiet, and then one day you'll see me and you'll
I'm not very
specific.
specific.
Lights, camera, action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not very
what
specific.
happened? How did she get there?
Yeah. So I'm not really specific with things. I just but it's just not over for you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Not.
And I don't like hearing people speak like that's the end, because they are. And I speak a thing on age because that seems to be the big problem, is that people think that it's because they're a certain age that's just kind of over for them. And I just really want to just say that it's just not. Yeah. I could. If I thought that was the case, then I would just hang it up right now. But it's not. Things happen for a reason, y'all.
Yeah.
Your life took a shift. The trajectory of your life may have just went a completely different way to put you on the path for what your real purpose is.
Yeah.
Because that former purpose that you thought you were working, all that stuff you were doing before, and it's all gonna make sense. Just follow the path that you're on, even if it doesn't look pretty. You know what I mean? It doesn't look pretty. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Still, if you have a dream, you really want to do it. If you really want to date, if you really want to get married, if you really want that career, if you really want those kids, you know what I mean? Don't let anyone or anything stop you from your goal.
Right.
But most of all, don't you discourage your own self because of your certain age.
Right.
That's just something that, and I think, we're in our 40s. And I know I've gotten my fair share of, you're too old, spring chicken. I've got my fair share of these comments before where people say that to me, and I disagree. I think I'm just beginning. I think that the excitement of my life, honestly, has really just begun, and all the other parts of my life needed to happen for me to get to this purpose. Because when you know your purpose, everything just looks very enlightened. So, yeah.
It's like loving yourself. Like, just love yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I know that sounds so crazy, or people hate when you hear that.
They think it sounds corny.
But it really isn't. If you really do love yourself and you really do care about you, then most people love other people more than they love themselves. They put energy in other people's dreams, more than they'll put into their own. Like, you are the lead in your own movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you're acting like a number two in a movie where you're supposed to be number one, you know what I mean, then you're really wasting your time. You know what I mean? It's a one thing to feel good for other people, but it'll be turned into envy, and it'll turn into resentment if you never pour into yourself, but you're always applauding for everyone else, because it'll feel like you just aren't alive, like you're not there, you're just a spectator.
Right. No, I agree with you. Don't. I used to be a spectator. I used to look at people when I didn't know what the hell I was doing, where my life was just didn't seem, I had no purpose. I felt like I had no purpose, and I didn't know where I was going. And instead of just coming to that, instead of just admitting that I just didn't know what my purpose was, and I just was, my life was kind of like a mess. Instead, I would look at people's life and go, just kind of compare. I would compare and then feel down about myself. So find your purpose.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just does take, and I know this sounds super corny and extra spiritual, but sometimes it does just take you to sit there and listen and be quiet and ask the question, what is my purpose? Because sometimes you'll find it in the silence of it all. You know what I mean? Like pray, but listen. Pray is what meditation is, right? Pray is one thing, and then meditate after. That's what you get. That's where the answers are.
And brainwash yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like I was telling you that when I'm at work, I listen to nothing but positive things for 6 hours. I'll listen to that, and after a while, you will become one of those people.
Just believe
and
it.
then anytime someone says anything you negative, you don't even really want to be around. Like, I'm not somebody who even wants to be around gossipy people, or people who want to talk about people, or people who just want to be down about life all the time. It depresses my spirit, because for 6 hours, and 6 days a week, I'm completely plugged into myself, listening to all of this stuff, and I affirm myself. Believe in yourself. Really believe in yourself, and it is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, because this world wants to beat you down to your knees and wants to keep you low. You know what I mean? And you have to really find it into yourself and to tap into your godly self, your higher vibrations, and really just stay on that path and only be around people. And that's why I say your circle, it matters. Only be around people. Like Danielle lifts me up a lot. You know what I mean? And honestly, I could go through life with just her, but I know that's crazy. You know what I mean? But she is a chain of all the people that are going to start coming into my life that are more like this. You know what I mean? And you have to be conscious of
that's your circle.
What you're saying, and who you're really around.
Because it could be your circle too.
You outgrow people.
You could be saying all these negative things about yourself because you're hearing it in your circle. Your circle. Man, your people that are around you is really important. That's like one of the most important things in the world.
It's very rare that you're going to have a friend that you've had since you were a kid.
Yeah. Now, Kara and I, we were, and honestly, even some sisters don't even get along.
I mean, most people you're going to outgrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just the way it is. You're going to outgrow. There are going to be times in your life where you're going to get to a level where the people who were with you on this level aren't going to be there anymore, because now you're on another level, new people.
It doesn't even mean that it's a bad. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
You don't cut them out, really.
Yeah. Everybody serves their purpose with each other in their life. Sometimes people are there for a season. And some, what I mean? And that's just kind of it. Then it's just kind of over. But it still served a purpose. Not for the worse, usually for the better. So, yeah, you pay attention to your circle. Because a lot of times your circle is the one that's is making you feel, you're allowing, I'm saying they're making you, but you're allowing the energy of people around you who are negative to make you feel negative about where you're at in your life. And they are not you.
Right.
If they stay in their own lane, that's because they don't know their own purpose. They're trying to tell you they don't know their own purpose. They cannot tell you yours if they don't know their own. So I agree with that. It's like your circle and the energy of that off. I didn't care. Thank you for the compliment, but it really goes back. The people who do know us know how close we are, and that's not an accident. I do believe that the universe, I do believe God made this my friend for life. That's just how I feel. So now, because of that, we've been through a lot together. We don't always get along. It's not nothing like that. We don't always get along, but I do think that the fact that she has great energy is the reason why I'm able to feel. It helps to have someone around that is that understands good energy, higher vibrations and stuff, and give you that kind of experience. Because I've been around negative people before, and I felt negative.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful about who's in my circle. So just pay attention to your circle, because it could just be.
And I search for positivity.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? And I don't care if it's from my Facebook page or something I've typed in. If I feel like it's negative and my soul doesn't even feel good anymore.
Right.
And my soul is just
like
you
feel it. Yeah.
It just feels like gross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, get away from this. You know what I mean? And I think that's after so many years of pumping myself up that all of a sudden you don't see people the same anymore. You don't want to do the same things. And that's just the little God inside of you saying, see, I'm trying to get you to your dream. And this is that intuitive your intuition, you know what I mean, is telling you this is no longer for me. So don't try to be for something that God is telling you it's over.
Yeah.
Just, you got to move on now. If I want you to evolve because you have a lot to do on this planet. You know what I mean? And I need you to move on. I mean, you're not saying goodbye to people forever, but you are moving on from this situation. You know, and so don't feel bad if there are people that you just have to, you know, say peace.
Bye.
You know, to. I look, I'm on Facebook, and a lot of times I search for. I have some, you know, good friends on Facebook, but I search for people who have good things to say. I don't want to hear anything about negative. I don't want to hear women talk, you know, stuff about men that aren't flattering to men, and I don't want to hear men talk about women badly. I want to hear about people who are progressive and doing things with their life, and, you know, make me happy. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit there and read someone's bad, you know, uncomfortable, sad, post that, you know, it is not even helping them. The only thing it's doing for them is making them get likes, you know what I mean, and do that. And so for me, I just feel like I just want to talk about people who are progressing in life, man or woman. Just give me something else to talk about. So I mean, I love applauding people. You know, I love watching people succeed.
Yeah, me too.
I like watching people get what they want. You know what I mean? You know, I have had friends on Facebook who've been wanting children forever, and then when they finally get one, damn, it makes me want to cry.
Yeah, because I'm just rooting for them.
Because that is a goal.
People getting married,
and you know what I mean?
all
You really
that.
want that. If someone gets married, it's like I was at the wedding, even though I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I see
It's also
people's businesses progressing.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
great.
good for you. It's just like this is what I want to see happen.
Everybody's supporting each other.
Especially, you know, look, I'm for everybody succeeding, but especially my own people. You know, watching black people succeed makes me so happy, because it makes me, like Tyler Perry and his studio. I love seeing black people move forward and really do. I mean, we are descendants from slaves. You know what I mean? And I think if slaves had the same rights as we have right now, the exact same without Jim Crow, like we have right now, I don't think that they would. I think they would be progressive. I think they would be taking advantage of all the things that they are allowed to do, that a lot of black people don't do. You know what I mean?
So don't be afraid. Don't
Change
be
your story,
afraid.
move
Yeah,
on.
change your story.
Yeah,
And,
change how you look at things.
And you're allowed to change your mind. So if you're one place in your life right now, and then you wake up one day and go, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. It's okay to be X age and say, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
And you may be freaking out because you're older. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's okay. Let me tell you what, that's okay too. It couldn't be more okay.
Yeah.
You know what's great about it, actually, is that you just told the truth
Right.
of your life, that you just want something different. You're finally just saying to yourself, I'm not going to just settle for anything in life. I actually want a passion. I actually want to go for what I really want.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's okay to wake up one day and just say, no.
We are not supposed to be the same
Evolve.
person we
We're supposed to
are
evolve.
365 days a year. We were supposed to be something different in December than we were in January.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be a whole different person. That's why I'm saying we die daily.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're supposed to be evolving. That is that's the whole point of the soul. We are literally, you know, evolving, and you really have to, you know, understand that, or else you will be in the same place. Nobody wants to see, you know, Michael Beckwith said, if you're not moving forward, you're actually moving backwards, because the world is moving forward. So if you're the same as you were in December that you were in January, you actually have gone backwards.
Right.
You're not standing still.
Right.
And so it's just like, you have to really understand that, really believe in yourself. Life is really short.
There'll be some realizations in your journey too, you guys. It's not gonna always look, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's not always going to look like you thought it was going to look. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means that you're being reformulated.
And don't always just do the work, but don't always try to figure out everything. Let something higher, something that's way higher than you deal with that. You just do the work. Do what it is that you're supposed to do. If you know whatever your goal is, just do it. And then let some higher being pull the strings that God is supposed to be pulling. Don't be trying to figure it all the time, because that'll make you stop too. If you start trying to figure out everything, and you can't get it figured out.
Yeah.
It's not for you to figure out. It's for you to move forward. You know what I mean? A lot of times people, when they have results, and they're only you know, fixated on you know, outcomes.
Yeah.
Then you will stop what it is you're doing, because you'll feel like you're so far away. You may not know how close you are.
Yeah. Some people want the goal but want to skip the journey.
No, the journey's part of the blessing. It's the whole. You
don't
ever want to do that.
You're delaying for no reason when you do that. You can't skip the journey. The journey is the journey is their journey. Right. So is that it? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
That's all it said. 26.
That's all too.
That's peculiar.
I saw it at 26 with nothing here. It's just seconds. 26 seconds.
we're gonna have to talk about this whole numerology, and so let us know if y'all interested in that numerology and all of that. Just the whole, we were going to do we were going to talk about some stuff, I think, next week that has something to do with that. So anyways, we'll get to that next week. Okay. But thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for subscribing. We saw we got a little bit of a hike in our subscriber count. We really do appreciate that. I'm glad we get the messages and stuff. People are enjoying the show. We do know that sometimes we can be long-winded, but this is more like a podcast type thing. So it could just go on from wherever it goes on. We just talk.
Yeah, if you see it fit, share this.
Yeah.
Share this.
Yeah, share this if you like.
If you feel like this inspired you, share this.
Yeah.
We would really appreciate that.
Yeah. Right. So, yep. So, like the page or subscribe to our channel.
Don't forget to hit the bell.
Don't forget to hit the bell. And like our Facebook page as well. They are all Combos with Kara and Danielle, both here and on Facebook. And, yeah, that's it. So, we will see you guys next Tuesday. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.